Level 70, Sisterly Act. Alizé is impatiently fussing with her link pearl. Oh, Zilly, if you've come here hoping for news, I'm afraid there isn't any. Everything is exactly as it was. Ishtola is still investigating primals in the Far East, Thancred is still gathering intelligence in the Imperial provinces, and Alphinaud is still out there somewhere. Yeah, they had shipwrecked last time. There's been no word since his first scheduled report, nor does he respond to calls, and all the while I'm just meant to sit around here waiting. It's driving me mad. Begging your pardons, I bear a message from the Eorzean Alliance. Thank the gods for that. We have a visitor. Welcome to the Rising Stones. If you have a message, I should be most eager to hear it. My lady, the Alliance leadership will soon convene to discuss the matter of Ascian interference, and they humbly request the presence of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Having assessed intelligence provided by the Alamegan resistance concerning the whereabouts of Xenos' remains, they too suspect Ascian involvement and wish to deliberate a suitable course of action. As the foremost authorities on our foe, your orders, counsel, would be most welcome. Of course, we should be glad to assist in whatever way we can. With almost everyone else afield, I'd say this one falls to us, by which I mean I'm not going on my own. You'll come with me, I trust. Of course I will. I'd rather not. Yeah, no, I'll pass. Lighting is always so harsh. There you have it. We accept the invitation. Thank you. The time and date of the meeting will be shared in due course, but I can confirm that the council will take place in Alamigo, by your leave. I guess Alamigo and Doma are going to join the Alliance. That's what it looked like in the trailer. I somehow doubt we'll have anything useful to offer, but standing mutely at a meeting would still be better than nothing I've been doing of late. Let's make ready to depart, shall we? Thancred, what's going on, man? Alright, just be careful on the road back, you hear? Did I hear right, Rio? Is Thancred coming back? Aye, that he is. Says he's acquired some important intelligence. Being in Garlean territory, though, he couldn't risk sharing the particulars in case the Imperials were listening in, so he said he'd head back as quick as he could and make sure someone was waiting for him in Alamegan Quarter. Understood. Zilly and I will go. We're bound for Alamigo anyway, and there's sure to be time before the council begins. Come on, let's be off. Alamegan Quarter. I think there's only one patch left after this. Well, I mean, it's like 2 parts, but we may do the next part tomorrow or the next, well, not next week, but tomorrow or after that. I don't know if we'll split them up yet or not. We'll get to that. You two are a sight for sore eyes. Now all I need is water from my parched throat. Fetch me a cup, will you? Traipsing through Imperial territory is thirsty work. Oh, if this were ARR, I'd actually have to go talk to somebody and grab a cup.
God, I needed that.
I won't bother telling you to catch your breath. Whatever brought you galloping back to us, I assume it's urgent.
Quite. Without further ado, then. After the successful uprisings in Doma and Alamigo, rebels in several other provinces were inspired to follow suit. Unfortunately, they did not fare quite so well. the Dalmascans paid the heaviest price. For their defiance, the Emperor made a show of razing their capital to the ground, prompting many of their neighbors to abandon thoughts of resistance. But not all have given up on liberty. Heartened by the news of Doma's prisoner exchange, some still believe that the Empire may one day be amenable to negotiation. We have the shinobi to thank for spreading the good word. They have worked tirelessly to keep the subjugated informed, and a little knowledge can go a long way.
There is at least a spark of hope, then.
A spark in want of kindling, yes. The Alliance has already begun supplying materiel to resistance movements abroad, many of whom would otherwise struggle to continue the fight.
Yeah,
the support effort has been led by the Sultana and the Elder Seedseer, who have both seen enough Alamegan refugees to know the consequences of oppression. And for their troubles, they have quickly earned a reputation as folk heroes in certain corners of the Empire. That is all for the provinces. As for the Garlean motherland itself, our friends the Populares have suffered something of a setback, I regret to say. Talk is rife that Doma has summoned a primal, and the Empire's more liberal voices are being drowned out in the fearful clamor for retribution.
Was that, yeah, because, what's her face?
And who do they think orchestrated this summoning?
Oh, any but those truly responsible. Xenos has seen to that. Speaking of whom, the Crown Prince is recovering remarkably well. Well enough, in fact, to enable him to personally tour the provinces, putting the fear of the Emperor into the hearts of any would-be dissidents.
He walks in plain sight, and none suspect him. Then it's as we feared.
Yes. An Ascian wears his skin.
No doubt.
But it was not that which brought me here in such haste. During my time in the provinces, I learned many things. Yet at no point did I hear any report of a Doman emissary in the capital.
But Alphonse should have arrived by now. Could they be holding in there in secret?
The possibility did cross my mind, but I have reason to believe he never reached his destination. As you know, Scions assigned to covert operations, such as Riol and myself, are issued special link pearls for communication in the event of an emergency.
Oh, I didn't realize we had special ones.
I mention this because it was originally Alphino's task to coordinate the response at headquarters, meaning he has one. And whose voice should I hear when mine recently crackled to life?
You spoke with Alphino?
Spoke with, no. I but heard his voice, and none too clearly at that. 2 words were all I could make out. The burn.
The burn.
The wasteland on the edge of Otherd. Something must have happened to them there. There's no time to waste. We must make for the burn at once.
To the burn.
I had a feeling you might say that.
And? I can't very well sit around here drinking tea if Alphino's in trouble. You said yourself that this link pill was only to be used in emergencies. So I'm going, and that's the end of it.
Go, girl.
Oh, far be it from me to change your minds.
Off to the burn. Loath though I am to neglect making preparations for the council, we must act swiftly before Alphinaud's trail goes cold. Propose we first pay Heian a visit. He's sure to want to hear about these developments, and he may well be able to advise us on how best to reach the burn. Sound plan, and Y'shtola is in Doma, is she not? I dare say she'd join you in the search if you asked her nicely. While you see to all that, I shall go and report my findings to the Alliance. You may leave any preparations for the Council to meet. Thank you, Thancred. Thank you, Thancred. Right, to Doma then. We have much more to share with Ishtola. Yes, we're off to Doma. It's raining. That is curious indeed. While other matters demand my attention at present, I shall bear what you have told me in mind. Should you notice any change, do not hesitate to seek me out. Thank you, my lady. You are most kind. Miner? Are you talking to miners? I didn't see any dumb in mines. Well, well, two faces from the dim and distant past. Come now, it hasn't been that long. Who was that you were speaking with? A local miner who supplies crystals for the rebuilding effort. Of late, he claims to have struggled to find a crystal with so much as a trace of elemental energy. Upon learning that I had some knowledge of ether, he came seeking my counsel. Just now, he brought me one of his recent finds. It was precisely as he described, devoid of elemental energy and eerily reminiscent of the de-aspected crystals that manifested in Eorzea in the days prior to the calamity. It would be wise to investigate this phenomenon more closely. Indeed, but on a more positive note, the locals seem to have taken a liking to you. Because she's the best. More an interest in than a liking to, I think. The sight of a Makote with a peculiar contraption upon her head has a certain novelty value in these parts, an actual regard they may have for me I owe wholly to you and the others who came before. Everyone here has been exceedingly cooperative, and I am pleased to report that I have all but concluded my investigation. Simply put, by focusing one's will upon an ether-infused object of worship, it is possible to conduct a summoning. So the fact that they are objects of worship is the key. They are themselves suffused with the requisite belief. Correct. Such sacred relics as the Kojin collect obviate the need for religious fervor in the summoner, Yotsuyu being the most obvious example. She had but to associate the artifact given to her by Asahi with the divine, and it served to amplify her desires and give them form. Form nourished through the power of crystals, also provided by her brother, and thus was Tsukiyomi brought into being. It's easier and easier to summon them every expansion, huh? Which brings me to the question of preventative measures, to which I have yet to find a satisfactory answer. At present I know of naught that will avail us, save to keep watch over the movement of relics and crystals, as if we did not have enough to keep watch over already. But I doubt you came all this way to hear that which may be perused in a report. Has something happened to Alphanol? We're gonna need one of them white magicite thingies too to trap this Ascian dude, right? White auracite? Yeah. I shall join you in the search, of course. Thank you, Ishtola. I should be glad of your help, truly. Now, if there's nothing else, I shall go on ahead and request an audience with Lord Hien. Alizé puts on a brave face, but she has little talent for concealment. We should join her at the Kiankan. Lord Hien is expecting you. Greetings, my friend. Alizé has explained all to me. Needless to say, you shall have our full cooperation in the search, even if Alphinaud's trail does lead to the burn of all places. Complete. To go for money. Feel the burn. Ian is mulling over the details of Alphinaud's Link Pearl call. The region known as the Burn occupies a special place in Garlean history. Every child in the Empire is familiar with the tale. In the distant past, it was a verdant land teeming with life, but successive summonings saw it bled dry of ether and reduced to a desert. It was upon beholding the devastation that Primals had wrought that Emperor Solus was spurred to embark upon his crusade against their kind. The Burn offers a glimpse of the future we seek to prevent. Know you of any reason why Alphinaud might have gone there? Aye, mischance. Though it lies on the route to Garlemald, it is no place to make a stop. My guess is they encountered some manner of trouble there. In any event, I am the same mind as Alizé. We have no choice but to take our search to the Burn. Given the considerable distances involved, 'tis best we went by bird. Zilly and I have our yawls. Ugiri, will you ready falcons for the others? Oh yeah, because we won the Nadam. I shall gather our swiftest birds. Near the House of the Fierce there is an overlook. Pray join us there once you have seen to your preparations. Should we just go to the House of the Fierce? Guess we need our yawl. We could use any mount, technically. Pretty bird. They're kind of ugly. Everyone is here and possessed of a bird. Let us away. Remember, our destination is a barren wasteland. There is no civilization to speak of for 100 malms in all directions. Take care you do not lose your way. The Burn, now accessible. New regular duty. Oh, okay, it's a dungeon. Alright, let's check it out. Oh, it's because it's storyline, we can just do NPCs, right? But let's read it first. Instead of having to wait for a duty. En route to Garlemald, Alphinaud made a final Link Pearl call to Thancred before falling silent. During the one-sided and distorted communication, he is said to have spoken the words, "The Burn," the name of the vast wasteland on the western edge of Othard. Once a verdant region teeming with flora and fauna, repeated summoning saw it bled of ether and reduced to a barren desert. But even in an unforgiving environment such as this, life has endured. In a fierce struggle for what little ether yet remains, the Burn's beastly denizens have grown uncommonly savage, and you and your comrades must contend with their dangerous ilk to scour its white sands for Alphinaud's trail. Like a party for the Burn? We'll just do it with NPCs real quick. Instead of waiting 20 minutes for the queue.
Make ready, friends! We are come to the Burn!
No comment.
Everyone, land where you can! We must wait out the storm!
Othard, the Burn. So that is, oh, that's the actual dungeon cutscene, huh? It looked like it was like a pre-dungeon cutscene. The Bleached Shelf. Oh, we're just gonna ninja through it.
Let us be about it!
Yeah, let's be about it. These are my Eureka knives. Oh, they're attacking this one. They don't AoE, I keep forgetting. We've been doing all the optional dungeons, so we've had to use like actual players. Hey. So let's move him out of the way, Ian. Like dungeon traps, like Cutter's Cry. Kukulkan. Like rock birds. Why are the rock golems called dancing marionettes? I mean, we fought actual puppets. Alright. I thought we were kind of done with all the
You shall fall soon enough.
Doma stuff. I guess like the real like Shadowbringers lead up starts with the next patch. I mean, I figured we'd have to come this way anyways once they wrecked. This kind of made sense. Oh, the rocks are turning into stuff? Where'd you come from? Nothing wrong with duty support, it's fine. It's slower than actual players, but we've discussed this several times. Like when you factor in how long sometimes queues can be. Desmond. Desmond. Wee. That's fun. Boss. Oh, okay, I see. Like, the Griffin thing in the Dusk Vigil. Or the Spriggan in the Anti-Tower. You gotta go hide behind the stuff. Swordfall. That's like the Fenrir. And Snow Peak.
I shall make it quick.
And I haven't played as Ninja in a while. Was I not the target? I didn't see a particular target. Swordfall. Dissonance.
I shall make it quick.
It's all so new.
It's all over now.
Okay, this one's after me.
Let's give them a show.
Yeah, shows. Will volunteers. Kill the bird. Droids. Are we in the ship now? This looks more Darlian than Alamegan. Be quicker if I help them focus them down. Since they don't AoE. I don't know if I adjusted this one yet. Yeah, no, I adjusted it. Not super happy with it yet. Oh, no. Still probably be a couple of weeks before we do Shadowbringers. So I've quite a few more Eureka weapons to do. That with the holidays.
Come no closer.
Yeah.
We focus the big one first. I guess they just attack whatever's in the way, huh?
I shall make it quick.
Make it quick. Shatter. Getting a lot of glare on my screen. It'll be fine. Lord Paladin. Okay, you've seen something like that in Az as well.
Out of my way!
I mean, don't the Garleans think themselves like part Alamegan or like the rightful heirs to? I mean, not Alamegan, Allegan.
Make it quick.
And they see themselves as like the heirs of Allegan Empire or whatever. The true magnitude.
You shall fall soon enough.
Effective. Paying any attention. Get new toys to use. Artillery drone is gonna come and shoot at us. Okay, which way do we stand? Okay, there's just one defective that doesn't make it, I guess. Okay.
Forward! Forward!
Forward, forward. I assume that's going to do something, right? I didn't see the one on the other side until like right towards the end. How do I know which one goes first? That one. I didn't see how they fell, so.
Let's make it quick.
Oh no, Voodoo Sport's not shy about using your LBs until unless you really need one. Okay. Something in the dirt. Focus. Thing up there. Look like it. Avoids. Giga worm. No? Some big AoEs. More Giga Worms. The first worm.
I shall make it quick.
Oh, if I try to pull more, they'll just die. With all these big AoEs, I'm glad I didn't grab Monk. Get him, Ian.
I shall make it quick.
I think the Fancy animated menus. I don't want to change those.
Out of my way!
Realize that left one. Balls, big balls arena. Feel the burn. We're coming, Alfie. Like a sand dragon. I saw that in the trailer, but I thought it was so quick, I thought it might have just been Provenance Watcher. The Mist Dragon. That's a reference. Who's got the bomb ring?
I shall make it quick.
I figured there'd be one with a dragon in it at some point. Vaporize.
You shall fall soon enough.
Can't attack it when it's a mist, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Ferdiad. We better hurry. Pull him out of my Doton. Oh, those things. I don't want to be near those.
You shall fall soon enough. You
Figured
shall
it-
fall soon enough.
Yeah. Figured there'd be another cycle. So it's like the one from the Stone Vigil, huh? Yeah, that's fine so far.
Enough!
Hey, feel the bird. Did you Geary just come out of nowhere? I guess they pick different ones depending on what job you pick, right? Yeah. Land of the Dead.
Between contending with bloodthirsty beasts and sand in my every conceivable place, I'm quite ready to leave this wasteland. But first things first. Do you see the crashed ship over yonder? Judging by its class, it must be the vessel that bore Master Alphinaud away.
War Machina. It would seem they were involved in a struggle. There may be clues. We should split up and search the area.
Split up? Sounds like an awful idea.
There's no sign of Alphinaud, nor of Maxima and his people.
These were no ordinary soldiers.
Numbers.
Over here! The insignia on this man's uniform identifies him as one of the Emperor's personal guard.
Hand-picked soldiers, answering only to the royal family.
That would explain why all the casualties are Garlean. They were fighting their own.
You're saying the Emperor was behind all this? That Alphinaud is his prisoner?
We don't know that yet. Alphinaud is fine, I'm sure of it.
Aye, we must not jump to conclusions. Besides, Alphinaud is more than capable of looking after himself, is he not?
I suggest we return to Doma to consider our options. Whatever happened here, Master Alphinaud is long gone, and any subsequent search may safely be left in the hands of the shinobi.
Yeah. We're too important to do it ourselves.
Where in the world are you, brother? If you die on me, I will never let you hear the end of it.
Where are we at? We in the Enclave? Well, that was a decidedly uneventful journey. I almost found myself hoping for a sandstorm. Joking aside, I'd say our birds would do a good brush down and a treat or two, wouldn't you? Feel the burn complete. Shadows in the Empire, level 70. Ian has a request for the Scions. I had hoped to steal a moment's rest after our little outing, but it would seem duty calls. A foreign emissary arrived in my absence. Do not let us keep you then. Actually, I was wondering if you might join me. I cannot think of a guest who could fail to be impressed by the presence of the Scions. At least none I should be happy to receive. Of course, if you think it will be useful. Thank you. Let us return to my manor then. The manor. Lord Ian is expecting you.
Lise, what brings you here?
Oh, Alliance business. We have a request for Doma. Well, Ian. But that can wait. They told me you were out searching for Alphino. Did you manage to pick up his trail?
Ooh.
Well, if he wasn't at the crash site, he might still have escaped. We have to keep searching.
And we will. Alphino embarked on this journey as an emissary of Dorma, and I hold myself responsible for his safe return. I will have our shinobi in the provinces search for him as a matter of urgency. Chin up, Alize. You'll get to admonish your brother for his recklessness yet.
Well, someone has to do it.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. There is one thing I'm not sure about, though. You said it was the Emperor's personal guard that attacked Alphino's airship. But the Popularis would never have been able to arrange the prisoner exchange without Varus's blessing. So why would he sabotage his own mission?
They may not have been acting on Varus's orders. The guard answer not only to him, but to his family, the Crown Prince included.
When Yotsuyu summoned Tsukuyomi, Asahi was quick to proclaim that a dormant citizen had violated the terms of our agreement, that the negotiations had failed. And it is this version of events that is now being repeated across Garlemald. To hear the tale, one would think the prisoner exchange never took place. Plainly, someone is manipulating matters from the shadows. Most likely Xenos, or whoever it is that wears his face.
Whichever Ascian you mean. We all know the nature of our adversary.
The servants of chaos are true to their name. Their meddling has cost Dorma a chance at peace. Whoever it was that loosed his personal guard, the Emperor cannot be ignorant of these developments. We must proceed on the assumption that our treaty is indeed in tatters.
Oh, they did get the prisoners at least.
But come, Lise. You have journeyed far. Let me hear your petition.
Right. So the big news is that Alamigo has agreed to join the Eorzean Alliance. To make it official, and discuss where we all go from here, the leaders of the 5 nations are planning to hold a meeting, and we were hoping you might come too. We've already seen what we can achieve when we work together, and the Alliance hopes to work even more closely in future. They think it's our best hope of keeping the Garleans in check, and I agree.
As do I. By coordinating our efforts in the east and west, we may be able to discourage them from committing their forces to a single front. I accept your invitation. I must, however, ask for time to attend to some pressing matters here.
Stuff to do
In
first.
light of recent events, the risk of Imperial reprisals is greater than ever, and I would not leave Dorma unguarded. Ere I depart, I must shore up her defenses.
Understood. I'll let the Alliance know. We'll wait to hear from you before setting a date. The meeting's to be held at the Royal Palace in Alamigo, incidentally. Do you remember the way?
Well enough. Please assure my hosts that I will not keep them waiting any longer than I have to.
Consider it done. And thank you for agreeing to come. If we all put our heads together, we're sure to find the best way forward. For everyone.
My advisors and I will presently convene to discuss the matters of Doma's defenses. You are welcome to stay, of course. Had you not offered, I would have requested leave to remain. Where the Asians are concerned, naught may be left to chance. As ever, we would benefit from your experience. I thank you for coming, Lise. Even if it wasn't on official business, I had hoped there might be time to show you the land you helped save. But I will settle for a fleeting visit if needs must. There never does seem to be enough time for anything, does there? But I did get to see a little of the Enclave. You've made excellent progress, I must say. And soon you'll have the chance to see how we're getting on, too. Till the meeting, then. I was wondering if you might have a word with you before I go, in private. Go on, my friend. I will send for Hakuro and the others in the meantime. Great, I'll wait for you at the docks. The dogs. Healing the burn. I don't remember the way to the docks. There it is. Thanks for coming. Knowing you, you've probably guessed what I wanted to talk about. Alize, she's acting as if everything's alright, but it's clear she's barely coping. Alize, I know, is overbearing, willful, and reckless, and that's fine. It's how she deals with feeling weak. She has to keep moving or she's afraid she'll fall apart. A lot like me. But the thing about people like us is that we need someone to keep an eye on us. I had Papalimo, and now I have my friends in the Resistance, and Alize has you in the Scions. Before you start, I'm not saying you're neglecting her. I'm sure you aren't, and I'm sure you won't, but she's a good friend, and when I see her like this, I can't help worrying. So please make sure you give her all the support she needs, alright? Nothing to worry about. Seriously. Leave it to me. Thank you, it goes without saying, but if there's anything I can do, you only need to ask. I'd best be off. See you in El Amigo. You maybe run all the way to the docks for that? It's sweet. It's nice you're concerned. Like, there were other people in that room you could have asked. Everything all right with Lise? I won't ask for details. I know you'll tell me if it were important. See, I went and checked on her. Done with that, right? Ah, there you are, my friend. Everyone has assembled, so let us begin.
If we are to ready ourselves for invasion, we shall need manpower, provisions, and time, all of which are in notably short supply.
Candid as ever, Yugiri, and correct, I concede. Fortunately, I have an idea. "'Tis plain no single nation can stand against the might of the Empire. And it was only with the aid of others that Dorma succeeded in winning her freedom. So, I mean to take a leaf out of our Eorzean friends' book and form an alliance of our own. In addition to those with whom we already share an understanding, I would reach out to Hingashi and Suinosato, and further afield to the myriad peoples of Nangsha and Dalmasca. I am under no illusion. Not all will answer the call. Yet disparate though we may be, we are united in our desire for freedom. If our neighbors could be made to see what is at stake, Ascian machinations and all, cooperation need not be so far-fetched a notion.
It may even seem practical. Under the guidance of our former leader, Master Louis Soir, we once strove to unite the fractious city-states of Eorzea. I dare say that experience shall be of use in your endeavor.
We should be glad of your wisdom.
For the record, I would have been in favor of this plan even if it hadn't been my grandfather's, but I have to ask, how will we secure the time to carry it out? Not that anyone has forgotten, but the Garleans have airships. Lots and lots of airships. Should they catch wind of our plan, they could send an armada to overwhelm us before our alliance had even begun to take shape.
Freaking out.
Not if we deny them access to the skies. During our time in the Burn, the Warrior of Light and I chanced upon some Allagan ruins.
Oh?
As such ruins go, they were not particularly unusual. But something about the surrounding land struck me as odd. Faint though it was, its ethereal residue was uncannily similar to that of Azizlar. Identical, in fact.
We're gonna build a shield.
For locations so far removed to share a single etheric signature is all but impossible. I conclude, therefore, that the Allagans created the floating continent with land taken from the Burn.
While that is a most intriguing theory, I fail to see what relevance it has to Dorma's defense.
Azizlar was enclosed in a powerful energy barrier, impenetrable even to an Agrius-class battleship. It occurred to me that those ruins may have enjoyed similar protection. I have no proof, but the Warrior of Light did report seeing a structure resembling other known Allagan field generators.
I don't remember that.
All right. But even if we could put up such an energy barrier, it surely wouldn't extend beyond the limits of the Burn. So what's to stop the Garleans flying around it?
Fuel. The Dalmascan capital, Rabanasta, was a key Imperial refueling point in the east. By laying waste to it as a lesson to the rest, the Empire greatly hindered its own operations in the region. If an Imperial fleet were to advance upon Dorma, it would now have little choice but to travel, as the crow flies, over the Burn.
I see.
A word of caution. Even assuming the generator still functions, raising a barrier of such a scale will require a prodigious amount of energy. And few places are so bereft of suitable crystals as the Burn.
A source of energy. Tell me, did the Allagans make a habit of launching things into the sky?
Apparently.
A curious question. Besides Azizlar, I know of only one other notable instance. The Red Moon Dalamud, whose fall triggered the calamity.
Just the 2 occasions, you say? Then I believe I may have a solution to our energy problem.
You do?
I may. To find out for sure, we would need to visit the Azim Steppe. Which would, I now see, present the perfect opportunity to discuss an alliance with the Zayla tribes. How very neat. What say you then? Shall we see whither this road leads?
Do you even really need to ask? Aren't we in charge? I guess it's still nice to present, right? But more like the war chief. Shadows of the Empire complete. Level 70 of Power and Slumber. He and is eager to set out for the Azim Steppe. Is settled then. I will journey to the Azim Steppe with the Scions Yugiri and Hakuro. I leave our other neighbors to you. Oh, I already missed Gozetsu. My apologies, but I won't be joining you. I'm no aetherologist, and what skills I do possess are unlikely to be of any great use to the mission, but more importantly, it seems to me that the ruins in the burn warrant attention. And so while you are away securing an energy source, I will engage our friends at Garland Ironworks to undertake a complete overhaul of the field generators. We'll need them in good working order if our plan is to succeed. I trust there are no objections. Have care in the burn. Come on, Alize, could you not get Tataru to do it? Yeah, we should have Tataru do it. I'm sure she'd love the burn. Joking aside, I was planning to enlist her help with organizing everything, but we'll still need a scion on the ground. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll manage without me. Good luck. I think I'm supposed to show concern, right? Make Tataru do it. Just the 3 of us then. Very well. Shall we make first for your reunion? Reunion. So this is the Azim Steppe. The tales do not do it justice. If you think the view is impressive here, wait until we reach higher ground. Actually, seeing as it's your first visit, permit me to show you my favorite spot. Take us up there.
I will never tire of this vista. The endless fields, the boundless skies. 'Tis a sight to make a man forget his cares.
But not his purpose, I trust. Might this be a fitting moment to tell us what we are doing here?
Of course. During my time with the Mole, I learned some few myths of this land. One goes thus. In the distant past, when all seemed doomed, a wayfaring soul came unto the steppe. Venturing into the northern crag, he received of Nama a sliver of her essence, a shard of the shining moon, and with it clove the tainted land from the earth. The end thus averted, to these fields did the wayfaring soul return, and venturing once more into the northern crag, he buried the shard, and made unto the heavens an offering of blood.
A tainted land cloven from the earth and an offering of blood to the heavens. Azizlar and Dalamud.
That was my thinking, yes.
And you believe that yonder mountains hide an artifact possessed of sufficient power to raise Azizlar up to the heavens. I suppose that might suffice.
Worth a closer look, would you say?
I would.
To the mountains. From here we shall travel to Molyo. There we may ask Serena about the particulars of the myth and raise the matter of an alliance with the rulers of the steppe. No real quicker way to get here. No northern Aetherite. Ian, Zillia, I'm glad of your visit and the opportunity to welcome a new friend. How may we serve you? There is a matter I would discuss with them all. It concerns not only the peoples of the steppe, but of every land in the Far East. The shard of the shining moon left behind by a wayfaring soul, and you need this to protect our lands? I do. My friends and I wish to find the shard and ascertain the extent of its power. Will you tell me more of the place where it lies buried, this northern crag? That is your wish. In the mountains to the north there is a cavern called the House of the Crooked Coin. Inside this cavern are pillars of stone that legend holds to be the source of Nama's power. There I believe you will find what you seek. Ah yes, I know the place. 'Tis a brisk walk from here, and what are your thoughts on an alliance? Should the Empire return, our lands will be engulfed in a storm of conflict, whether we will it or no. If we do not stand together, we will fall apart. This I believe with all my heart. However, among the tribes of the steppe, there are those who revere Nama above all else. To them, the pillars are sacred and not to be disturbed. Should you proceed as you propose, such tribes are like to spurn an alliance, prompting others to follow their example. That is my concern. But it is by no means certain that the pillars will provide the power you seek, ere you risk the ire of the followers of Nama. Might you not first visit the House of the Crooked Coin? If all is as you hope, may we then consider how best to earn their blessing. I thank you for your counsel. We will do as you suggest. I have no desire to give offense to those with whom I would join hands. Thank you for your understanding. Though the Maul may reign over the steppe today, this decision will shape the days to come, and we would not force others into war against their will. Nor we, 100-fold stronger are they who choose to fight of their own accord. Power and slumber. Complete. Level 70, the Will of the Moon. Y'shtola is ready to put her skills to use. Seems the time has come to put my skills to use. Pray lead the way to the House of the Crooked Coin. About time they put this area to use. How about that? Okay, well that's definitely not Zayla Tech.
Such an abundance of ether.
Are we in luck?
We are. This is an Allegan artifact, most likely built to regulate the flow of ether. I strongly suspect the ancients used it to stem the flow from here to the burn. That would explain how they were able to untether what became Azys La from its surroundings. But were we to throw open the floodgates, the resultant deluge would surely be sufficient to raise our wall. And in restoring the flow, we may also restore life to the wasteland.
That'd be interesting.
What is it?
While the device itself harbors a surfeit of ether, the opposite is true of the surrounding area.
Soaking it all up from around.
An effect of regulation, perhaps. A similar phenomenon seemed to be occurring in Doma. Whatever the explanation, the answer will not reveal itself here. We have seen what we needed to see. Let us return to Mol Ilo.
Ain't it? That was the implication that there's one in Doma too. Ooh. He's a roll call. You found that which you seek, then. Great indeed is the Dusk Mother's power. If naught less will suffice to protect our lands, the blessing of the other tribes must now be sought. Of course, but to which tribe should we appeal? There are many who worship Nama, but none are so fervent in their faith as the Dotharl. Their consent shall be the key. Dotharl least spoke of them, a warlike tribe possessed of unique customs and beliefs. I sense their cooperation will not be easily won. Nay, but it will be well worth the effort. The Dotharl fear nothing, death least of all, and our alliance would be greatly strengthened by their presence. Let us go to Dotharl Ka and treat with their Khatun Sadu. She's the blue one, right? May have been quicker to teleport, but we've already started flying. Gonna make us do a bunch of tasks. Alright. You again. Other matters demand our time, God, unless it is battle you seek. Alas, not. Quite the opposite, in fact. Talking, always talking. You say the pillars hold great power. Of course they do. They are the source of Nama's strength. To the Dartharl, no place is more sacred, and we will make ash of any who would defile it, though I see this is not your wish. You see the wisdom of our proposition, then? You will join hands with us? I said nothing of joining hands. You wish to wield Nama's power to defend these lands, and this I will allow, but for leaving the step to fight the men in iron, I would have something in return. Namely battle with you, Khan. Gonna fight me? When Dom ended ere it began, I would face you again alone without distraction. Eat me, prove yourself the stronger, and you shall have the Dartharl as your ally. Surely these are agreeable terms. Well, this is not wholly unexpected turn of events, though I had assumed I would be the one required to fight. Alas, Gatan had made her choice. Shall we dance? Ah, it shall be a battle, the steps shall not soon forget. Already my soul burns brighter. Prepare yourself, Khan, and await me outside the Ka. I will gather my witnesses and join you anon. We change jobs for this? Maybe. Warriors battle, do it as a warrior. Yeah, let's do it as a warrior. Duty calls. Commence battle for the will of the moon. If you are above the maximum allowed level, it will be synced as follows. Level 70, proceed.
Yes! This spot shall serve as well as any. I shall enjoy this Khan.
Is this truly necessary? Have you no peaceable way of making decisions?
Speak not of peace. You stand before proud warriors of the Dartharl. In the heat of battle do our souls burn brightest. We lay low the strong that we may rise higher. That is our way. The way of might. There is no other.
Oh, they do not want for conviction.
Indeed. It's what makes them such dangerous enemies. And such useful allies.
Enough talk! It is time to fight!
This seems like something you'd use an axe for. So. Indeed strong. Yeah, I didn't think it would like go that quickly.
In death to our
What do I stand for this?
In death do our souls sing!
Yeah, she kind of gets off on it. So much for one-on-one. Have to kill these things first. No, I'm still doing damage, so I guess not. When it keeps losing, why are you tinkering with me? Okay, she's not taking any damage there, so.
In death do our souls sing! In death do our souls sing!
Use. Is that enough? Does not want to give up, huh?
How it burns! In death do our souls sing! In death do our souls sing!
That was simple enough.
Yes! Yes! Not since the Nardum has my soul burned so!
Yeah, she really gets off on it.
Come! We have only just begun!
Enough! You were not granted leave to set the steppe ablaze.
Well, well, the sun has come out to play.
Be gone, Moonstruck Oranir! I am busy!
Fool of a Dothal! Have you forgotten the face of your master already? The sun will never set! From his seat on high, he reigns over all, now and forever.
You're just like, what the hell am I watching here?
Yet what should he find here but a battle to determine the fate of the steppe? A battle waged without his blessing. This will not stand. You, Doman! You who come to petition the warriors of this land, forget that all Nama's children are wards of the Oranir. As first among my brothers, your petition is mine alone to judge.
These words are as wind from a horse's backside.
plentiful, but your axe sings more sweetly. Let her speak for you.
Insolent child. You will learn your place!
Take them both on now.
Forgive me, Brother Magni, but we have an arrangement with the Dothal. We will not abide any interruptions.
So be it. The sun will pass judgment on all. Didakul, join me.
The sun is in good company. We may dance alone.
Beg not for mercy, for you will have none. Bear witness to the power and the glory of Azim!
Constantly at each other's throats like rabid dogs. Gods, I'm turning into her. I have not the patience for this, but if we must fight, let us at least be brief. Come.
Beat Magni the Older. Who do I play as? The fight as Ishtola. What do I have here? At Hogwarts. I have Stone and Cure, and that's it, huh? Etherwell. Like lucid dreaming. What's this normal cure too? Get rid of this guy first. Okay, I'm supposed to focus on Magni.
Kneel or die! Bow down before me!
How do I go for this? Okay, well let's just focus on this.
Kneel or die!
I assume I'm not supposed to let Heian die, so...
Mark well and learn! Concentrate!
Yeah, so okay, I'm healing.
Kneel or die!
Not like I have a lot to work with.
down before me!
Mark well and learn!
No, I'm trying to cure him.
Kneel or
Not just
die.
Stone 4, it's Stone 4 of the 7th Dawn.
Bow down before me! Tremble before the sun!
I don't know if I have enough time to kill that. I guess I gotta focus on him. What am I supposed to do?
Let us be about it!
He home ganged me.
Yeah. Aoife, to me. Have at you.
What race is this? Because she's the best. But I didn't see that move on my hotbar.
Never have I felt such bliss in defeat.
It's like,
'Twas a battle to burn soul and flesh to ash. We Dothal will lend you our strength as promised. Narma's power is yours to wield. What does the sun say to that?
The sun is not driven by base motives such as yours. But they have been judged and found worthy.
at least you didn't ask me like milk goats again or whatever.
It is the way of the Oranir to accord recognition and respect to the strong. You have made sufficient proof of your strength. The sun shall answer your call.
You have our thanks. We are glad to call you allies.
You? By what are you called?
Oh.
Y'shtola, why?
Are you my Nama?
He's always looking for his girl, right?
I beg your pardon?
In battle, you shone with all the majesty of the full moon's light. Your healing touch, the embodiment of the Dusk Mother's love. Long had I wondered if my Nama might not be a woman of the steppe. Beholding you, I am all but certain.
They're all just kind of horny, aren't they?
Now, look into my eyes. Could it be? Could you be?
I am not interested, little son. Try again when you've become a man.
Damn. Ouch.
Little?
Little son! Little son!
Damn, that was rough.
Does it pain you, little son? Crave you salve to soothe the ache? Fire to sear the wound in your heart?
Basically asks that to every woman, though, doesn't he? It's not just her, like...
We have wasted enough time here. Siren awaits for word of our success.
Let them fight. We got places to be. We're just gonna stay as a warrior. We'll just stay as a warrior. Yet not only to contend with Sadu, but Magnite too, such a fierce battle that must have been. Yet here you stand, triumphant, having passed such a test, they could not well deny you their allegiance. The Maul will make no such demands. Weak though we are, we will gladly stand with you. The steppe is our home, and we will defend it with all our being. You have my heartfelt thanks. Of all the tribes of the steppe, there is none I would rather have at my side. God's willing, many more will rally to our cause. I shall send you word when we have answers from all the tribes. I cannot thank you enough, Serena. None of this would have been possible without you. Will of the Moon, complete. The call. Ishtola would see the ether flow once more. We have the requisite consent. 'Tis time to put Nama's power to use. The ether flows as planned. All that remains is to have the Ironworks engineers do their work at the ruins. Come, let us return to the House of the Crooked Coin. Tank mount. I shall begin at once. You may wish to step back.
Did it work?
It did. Ether may flow freely to the burn once more.
The burn. The burn. I do not pretend to understand what you did, Ishtola, but you did it. Thanks to you and Zilly, of course, we have taken a momentous step towards securing our defenses. Now, as much as I believe arrest is in order, we should probably make haste back to the Enclave. Agreed, the others may already have returned from their missions, and I would know how things stand. As would I. Without further ado, then. To the Enclave. Where do we go? Where the hell is the thing at? Just running in circles now. Oh yeah, it's right there. It was close. Judging by your triumphant expressions, I take it all went well on the Azim step. Indeed, we have secured a suitable source of energy for the barrier. Good. Tataru and I have commissioned Garland Ironworks to ensure that the field generators function as they should. A team of engineers stand ready to set out for the burn at a moment's notice. Need only say the word. I thank you for engaging their services on our behalf. The minutiae of the arrangement you may leave to me. Which just leaves a small matter of our alliance. So, Yugiri and Hakuro, how fared you with our neighbors? My lord, all of the factions we approached are in agreement that the Empire poses a threat, and many responded positively to talk of an alliance. From Hingashi to Suino Sato, however, we received outright rejections. The former will not break its treaty with the Empire, and the latter will not involve itself in conflict. Just as we expected then. Well, there is naught to be done about it. We must focus on the rest. To each of the nations that were amenable to our alliance, I will personally send a missive. Once I have attended to that, I believe we will have done everything we can to fortify Doma's defenses, for the time being at least. All of which means I may leave for the meeting in Alamigo with lighter heart. Yugiri, Hakuro, if you would be so kind as to hold the fort in my absence. My friends, we could not have achieved so much in so little time without your help. For that, I give you my heartfelt thanks. Till the meeting, then. I took the liberty of asking Thancred to attend as well. He should have arrived in the Alamigan quarter by now. And let us not keep him waiting, shall we? The Alamigan quarter. I think there's only one quest after this. Dola has told me all, and I duly told Urianger and Kryle. Kryle in particular was concerned about Alphinaud, but I assured her that everything that can be done is being done. She agreed to continue with her own task for the time being, on the condition that I contact her the moment there is any development. So that leaves 4 of us to attend the council. Arenvald is here to assist with security. Incidentally, though the poor lad seems altogether too distracted for the task, another one missing Alphinaud, I expect. Ah, but it's almost time. As soon as you are ready, present yourself to the guardsmen at the palace entrance. I shan't be far behind. Ah, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Welcome to Alamigo. The Alliance leaders have already arrived. May I show you to the meeting chamber? On proceeding to the Royal Palace, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Enter the Royal Palace. Yes.
Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin, it gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Alamigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
The pleasure is ours, Your Grace. I know I speak for all Alamegans when I say that we are glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
And we for our part are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
Nay, 'tis we who must thank you for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss of me not to acknowledge the part the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have played in bringing all of us together. In times of great unrest, you and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
Is there going to be another bloody banquet?
The day I lost my arm and my freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council. I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphino. Would that the lad could be with us.
I too owe my presence here to Alphino, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Come, friends. Let us leave the past in the past and turn our eyes to the future. My Lord Hien, pray, tell us how things stand in the East.
Having heard the rumors of dissent in Garlemald, I dared to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways.
Good money.
If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Alamigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations. But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
The winds suggest but one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Ascians.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Our objective is clear. The question is how to achieve it. That our enemy parades about in Xenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Ascians, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
You have an idea?
Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the Scions, and you mayhap best of all. Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal is thus. We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Alamigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
That's kind of the truth, isn't it?
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Ordinarily not. But prior to his miraculous recovery, rumors of Xenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Xenos heir apparent. Family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all welcomed his choice of successor, however. There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Xenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces would be too enticing to ignore.
The Empire would not be quick to recover from a second war of succession.
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory. With a team of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest, the plan should have a reasonable chance of success.
Doma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act, and act we must. What say you all?
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity. 'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace. Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
Uh-oh. That's an unusual echo.
That way. Sorrow. History must be changed.
Who is this? I don't understand. Yeah, who is this?
Ahead looms a calamity.
Other calamity?
Ahead looms light, expunging all form and life. Twin dooms only you can forestall. Only you.
What's the matter?
There's a voice.
Spies in our midst?
Nay, I sense no such presence.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
That wasn't a normal echo. They all get it?
Is it over?
Master Thancred!
12 for Fend. Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready. Swiftly!
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
He doesn't have any magic, does he? Maybe that's what got him. No protection against whatever the hell
What could
that
have
was.
done this? And why just him and not the others?
I'm afraid we could not identify the cause, my lady. Our examinations revealed no wounds, nor the presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse. You're to let us know the moment there's any change, all right?
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
In gifting us a course of action, Thancred sowed the seed of all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits of our labors. Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
Alize and I heard a voice in the moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely.
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Called?
That's a new one.
I myself examined Thancred. Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul. That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether, a consequence of his prior possession by the Ascian La Habrea.
La Habrea.
The owner of the voice, whoever it may be, reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being called to?
I know not. Yet one thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
Forgive us, Lys, but may we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore, but I'm no less a friend. Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lys. As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we discount the possibility of Ascian involvement.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
Okay, and how do we go about doing that? If they called us, why don't we just wait for them to call back? I just tried to call Urianger. Well, see, now we're making calls. I just tried to call Urianger on his link pearl. He didn't respond, but I dare to hope that he possesses some knowledge we do not. Are we to return to the Waifu Sands? Urianger, something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapse. A disembodied voice suddenly started. What? But that's... We should talk about this in person. Alright, we'll meet you there. Where was Urianger? He heard the voice too. And Thanalin? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicions, but if the voice also spoke to Urianger, there can be little doubt the Scions were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is the question, one to which we must find an answer with all possible haste. 70, the call. Complete. You learn the emote Eden Door. Level 70, Prelude and Violet. Alizé is eager to rendezvous with Urianger. Urianger agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the Elder Seedseer, but if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. Right, let's be on our way. One of them stick around just as a presence at the meeting.
Urianger! God, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Ascians doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Alamigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin. Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
But we don't know anything then, okay?
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed, I shall make it my task to.
Getting called again.
The voice. It calleth to me once more.
I hear it too.
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Rianger!
Throw wide the gates.
No! No, this can't be happening!
Just taking them out one by one.
Y'shtola! Rianger! Open your eyes! Open your eyes, I beg you! Say something! Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
Keep dropping like flies. Oh, Hoary Boulder's here. Okay. Forgive me, that was an unseemly display. Happened before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. We have borne the two of them to a private chamber, but tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Alamigo? I'm afraid so, though given the circumstances it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he should be brought here. Take heart, my lady, the world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades, and how it may be cured. Thus we will rouse them no matter what. That we will, Hoary, that we will. But first things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Oh, I promised I'd visit someone in Limsa Lamenza. He's been waiting at Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. Off to Limsa. Not here. Right there. Oh, of course it is. As you probably guessed, it's Gabu we've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Oh yeah, the little, the kobold, right? Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain.
Here he is, my lady. Gabu, it's been too long.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
Still have me. You don't have to bear this burden alone.
No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself. You'd think I'd have learned that by now. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
Yeah. No clues to go on. Like, Agu. Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. I figured he'd like say something or point us in the right direction. It's just like a friendly reminder this is still happening, right? I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hori is right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our own experts on such matters, but they're both among the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Menphilia had a wealth of connections between them, and I mean to explore those avenues too. We'll find a way to save everyone, mark my words. Much and more has happened in recent days, some of it for the good, some not so, but all around me, people continue their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphinaud to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire, they march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise that you'll visit from time to time, and I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. Prelude and Violet, level 70, complete. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace,
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
Probably doesn't just like being told what to do.
Should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree? What? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern.
And that's the Emperor then. He was dead.
Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear. Have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The Founding Father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos. Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power, and there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alag.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Not dead.
Such a waste of time and energy, both yours and mine. Lest you forget, you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
He's surrounded by Ascians on all sides. Meanwhile, at a resistance encampment somewhere in the Empire. It's Elidibus wearing Xenos' skin? Is that what he said? What in the world? Dead, all dead, yet I see no wounds, nor any evidence of battle. Damn them, they finally used it. The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Girabanya, a gas. Black Rose it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. I think we did a side quest where we saw that some of that was missing or something. That did this. I thought the project abandoned and its vile fruit destroyed, but naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. Fools, what do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? Hey, wait, this is not the work of men, but monsters. The Asians. It cannot be a coincidence that their trail led us here. Their objective was never to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Such a crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Asians and put an end to their plot. History of Violet. Okay, well that's it for patch 4.4.